surprised to hear that people are not investing in marketing.
Hey guys, welcome back to NEMT Van Talks. I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Monica.
And today we're going to talk about what happens when you are contracted with a facility where you're getting 80% of your trips from, and they decide to cancel that contract with you and give the contract to an NEMT broker.
Are you serious?
Yes. So this is reality, and this has happened to multiple providers. And so we just kind of want to discuss, what happens when you're getting all your business from one facility and they decide to go elsewhere and discontinue the contract with your company.
This is a good topic to discuss because it happens in this industry all the time, and you find yourself in a situation where you're receiving a volume of trips from this facility, or whatever the case may be. You're just receiving a volume of trips, and then all of a sudden things change and you're no longer receiving that trip volume. How do you continue to manage? How do you continue to push forward?
How do you pivot?
Yeah.
How do you pivot?
Pivot?
Yes, this does happen. And honestly, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, right?
No.
It doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you're a service-based business and you have a contract, you run the risk of losing that contract at any time, right? Especially if you don't have the terms of the contract outlined, right? Because a facility may choose not to renew the contract with you. And so, once again, it all goes back to the discussions that we have about, I know we aim it more towards the brokers, and we say, hey, don't let the brokers be your only stream of income source. But hey, don't let that skilled nursing facility be your only stream of income source as well. So we are very vocal when we say create multiple streams, and that's straight across the board.
So what are some things that you could put in place that what advice that can we give someone to put in place if this happens to them? They're working with a facility or a broker or anybody, and
they lose that contract. Don't panic, right? Because quite naturally, as business owners, that's what we do. We
go in panic mode.
But I will say, when you are contracted with a facility, that contract oftentimes has an expiration date. So months before that expiration date, it's time for you to start having conversations to get a feel of, will this contract be renewed or not? And if you feel that, hey, you know what, I got a feeling that this contract isn't going to be renewed, now is the time to start doing the footwork to replace that income. Okay.
I agree.
So, ultimately, nothing is guaranteed to us, unfortunately. And so, yes, you will need to look for other opportunities out there. Now, let me use this as an example. A skilled nursing facility decides that, hey, they don't, it's a small skilled nursing facility. They don't have enough staff to assign maybe someone to take over or be in charge of the transportation aspect of their clients, and maybe they just want to pass it on to the broker. Maybe it's much easier for them, and so they say, hey, MJ Reliable Transportation, unfortunately next month we won't be renewing our contract with you. We're gonna partner with the broker now. Well, this may be the opportunity for, now like I said, don't get nervous. Start thinking, get creative, right? Now is the time to say, okay, well, may I ask what transportation broker are you guys deciding to go with, right? And then that's your opportunity to reach out to that transportation broker, and then negotiate with them. Let them know that you have been providing transportation services to this facility for X amount of time. You're familiar with the clients, you're familiar with the routes, and I guarantee you show value,
Yes.
then you may be able to negotiate some decent rates with that NEMT broker.
Yeah, those are really good points. But then also too, if you have the opportunity to contract with your state where you're working at, you want to think about that as well. This is an opportunity for you to like think about other ways to generate income. So if you have that opportunity to contract with your state directly without going through a broker, then you want to look into that too. You want to look into what are the requirements, what are some things you would need to put in place in order to contract with your state Medicaid.
Oh yeah, like if you're doing dialysis runs from that facility, yeah, that may be a good option as well. Yeah.
So of course, like Jasmine mentioned, don't be nervous, don't get freaked out, don't think like the world is coming to an end. You just need to be critical. You need to think critical, think outside of the box, and keep it pushing, because it happens. You lose one contract, then you can replace it with 2 others, but you need to be persistent, and you need to go out there and try to pursue those other contracts. And part of that is being critical. Use your critical thinking cap and think outside of the box, and identify other entities to work with.
For us as small business owners, we try to take on so much, and I think we're guilty of it.
So we own a transportation company. We're based out of
that's what we have to get used to.
So I know that we get wrapped up in our day-to-day operations, but it's important that we find time for marketing our business and networking. And so if that means that you bring your part-time employee in an extra 2 to 4 hours a week just to remove you from whatever you got going on, so that you can focus more on building the business. You definitely need to do that. Even when it comes to incorporating software to make life easier for you. As a matter of fact, if you guys haven't seen the video that we dropped in regards to a new software that just came about, the name is Bambi. You guys definitely go ahead and check out that video. But then there's also other great softwares out there to help you kind of streamline some of your day-to-day operations. You know?
But this is definitely a time where you definitely want to beef up your marketing. I know too, in just recent consultations that I've had recently, I'm surprised to hear that people are not investing in marketing, and it can be something simple as business cards.
But you know why they're not investing in marketing?
Why?
Because they're working with brokers, and they feel that when they enter this industry, they feel that the broker is going to be a great start for them to kickstart the business, but that's not necessarily the case. Now it
get you an opportunity indoors,
but it's not a guarantee that you're going to be able to partner with them straight out the gate. So before you even think about any of that, you need website, business cards, brochures,
business profile. But here's my thing: it's simple things that are not expensive, free to do, like having a business profile on Yelp, having a business Google profile. Because you gotta think, when the first thing people, when they're looking for a type of service, what do we do in general? We go to Google, we go to the internet, we search things. And so think about someone that is looking for transportation. What are the first thing they're going to do is go to Google, non-emergency medical transportation in my area, or transportation in my area, reliable transportation. They Google these keywords. You want your business to populate in the search engine, and it can't do so if you're not listed, right? If your business is out, if you don't have a business profile listed. And those are free things that you can do. And so even if you're not trying to invest a lot of money into marketing, I'm just always I'm taken back when they're not thinking about that, or they don't want to invest in business cards. And even if you can't afford brochures at the time,
if you can't afford brochures, then
don't even
start the
say
business. No, because I'm going to be very transparent. There are fees that are associated with starting a business, and if you don't have the funds to put together your marketing
Marketing.
aspect of your business is not going
You
to
have to
succeed
market.
unless you have some pre-existing contracts already, and whatever. But
even with those
new
pre-existing,
business,
we just talking about the expiration date on those contracts. So
yeah. But overall, we just want you guys to do well, and don't, like we said, if start those conversations early. If you know that contract is about to end, start that dialogue of, hey, and you may not want to just come out and say, hey, is my contract going to be renewed? Maybe it could be questions like, oh, Tammy, how are you guys enjoying our transportation services? Or do you feel like, we are making things easier for your facility? How do you foresee the future between, MJ Reliable Transportation in your facility? Like little fact finding questions.
Or
like
just
that.
say when we'll send you over the contract renewal. Don't even ask. Like, we'll send you over the contract renewal so we can go ahead and renew the contract and see what type of feedback you get as well.
And it also may be good to have an auto renew on the contract instead of like an expiration date on it. That may be something that you may want to consider when it comes to writing your contracts as well. All right,
you learned it here.
Bye.